If you're looking for a new job or you just want to update your resume, our next guest has top resume and interview tips that can help. Greg Austin is a direct hire consultant. And Greg, what's your background with resume writing and interviewing?
Okay, well, I'm a direct hire consultant for the Spencer Reed Group, so I'm a corporate recruiter. I also work as a committee member on SHRM, which is the Society of Human Resources Management, it's a nonprofit. And basically what I do is I help kind of match candidates with clients every day and evaluate them and coach them to make sure they're prepared as best as possible.
How many interviews would you say you have done over your illustrious career?
Oh, dozens and dozens.
Dozens and dozens?
Yeah,
some good, some bad. All right, well,
yes, indeed.
Let's get to the good stuff. Let's start with resumes. So you keep telling people, keep it clean, keep it easy to read, right?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. You want it to be very easy to follow. You don't want the hiring manager to have to kind of dig down and find what it is that they need to know, whether or not they're going to interview you, okay? And you also want to have some of those things up at the top of the interview, like professional accomplishments. And those are really key because it shows the benefits of who you are and what you can bring to the table instead of just, you know, what I can do and what I can't do.
Let's talk about a bad resume. I want to see a bad resume. What is, in your professional opinion, what constitutes a bad resume?
Here's kind of an example. Someone who just puts, just kind of goes on and on. There's not a bulleted format. It's hard to follow. It's actually, all those are the same company. And so it looks like there's 3 different companies and they're kind of jumping around, and you don't want to give that impression that you're a job jumper. So what you want to do is you want to have that tenureship of the whole, you know, it could be 7 or 8 years rather than 1 or 2 years, and you want to have it in bulleted format so it's just very easy to read and
That's digest. A lot of verbiage on that resume. Okay, let's take a look at a good example, something that really catches your eye.
Okay, very good. As you can see on the screen, there's professional accomplishments, and you want to keep things very quantifiable, like if you've saved money or if you've improved a process, you can very clearly see the progression from the company, and then the skills down below and education. Is usually best to have at the
bottom. Look how clean that is, clean and easy to read. Okay, and you say it's mandatory to customize your resume to the job description. Why is that?
Absolutely, very important because so many hiring managers are getting just dozens of resumes.
Hundreds sometimes,
yes. And if they're going through 50, you know, it's hard for them to tease that apart, and you need it to jump off the page what you've done that applies to that job description.
That's applicable, yeah.
Yeah, you put it right next to it and you figure out what have I done that is obviously important to them, put it at the top of your experience so they can really see that right away.
Let's dish on interviewing. Okay, so when it comes to interviewing, the basics, what are the basics?
The basics, you know, wear a suit, turn off your cell phone.
Don't chew gum.
Don't chew gum. You know, use their surname, you know, Mr., Mrs., Miss, what have you. And those types of things, yeah.
And a lot of eye contact. I've heard always
direct eye contact. Yep.
Now, you should do your homework. If you're interviewing, you should do your homework on the company that you're interviewing with.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not showing interest in them, why should they show interest in you?
Exactly.
Right.
And the interviewer shouldn't be the only one who's asking questions. Like, you should chime in every once in a while. Yes.
Absolutely have some questions prepared. You know, what about the company? What's the growth plans of the company? And one of the questions I like to ask when I'm interviewing a client is, what brought you to the company? And then not only just listen to the content of the words, but kind of watch their body language. And if they kind of perk up and their eyes pop up, there's some genuine. Yeah, they're excited about, you know, the company. If they just kind of slump down and, you know, there's kind of a disconnect between what they're saying and how they may really feel about.
What about asking about salary and or benefits?
No.
They'll get to that.
Yeah, they'll get to that. Let them bring that up. And if they do bring it up, don't price yourself too high or too low. Just say, I'm open to entertain your strongest offer.
And what are some things that you should not leave an interview without getting answered?
Make sure that they know why you want to work for their company and what you can bring to the table for them.
What you can do for them. So you have this big, so you think you can interview event coming up. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. SHRM, a Society of Human Resources Management of Johnson County, is putting on So You Think You Can Interview. It's tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Tomahawk Ridge Community Center. You can register online at shrmjc.org. That's shrmjc.org. And it's basically going to be like a 5-minute interview. You dress up and you conduct yourself as if you're doing that. And HR professionals will be there to give you direct feedback that you may not get otherwise.
And the best part, it's free.
It's free.
It's free. It's
Absolutely.
complimentary. Greg, thanks. Good stuff.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you bet. My pleasure. All right.